Bum bum. Netflix. Hi guys, welcome back. It's your girl, Yummy.com. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. No, but really, thank you for tuning in. I've made another video about Netflix, praying they don't sue me one day. But I'm actually praising them, okay? I'm praising them, as I usually do. I'm praising Netflix because they've made some very smart choices in the way of international, adding a broader international catalog to their US database and to databases all around the world, because they realize that the world is becoming smaller and people are more thirsty for content, especially since, you know, Latin music is at its all-time high. K-pop is ruling the world thanks to BTS pirating that ship, which is ironic because ATs are the ones who are pirates. Anyways, so what we're going to talk about today is something that got me through high school. I watched a lot of K-dramas growing up, mostly because my parents watched a lot of foreign films. So before Nollywood, which I'm Nigerian American, my parents are Nigerian, born and bred, speak Yoruba, which is a tribe in Nigeria. So before Nollywood was really popular when they were younger and was like a thing, they used to watch Bollywood films or just films from different countries in general because that's all they had. So I actually eventually ended up watching a lot of Bollywood films and films from different countries, and because of that I eventually got into Korean films, which led to me getting into Korean dramas, which led to the person I am today. Dun dun. But that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about today are some of the best I think best television shows, Korean dramas on Netflix, especially for beginners who are just getting into Korean dramas, because there are a lot of tropes that you're not going to be used to. There are a lot of things that you're going to think are weird or different, like why there's such an importance on food in Korean dramas, because let me tell you, there are. And like, honestly, this has happened to me so many times where I'm just watching a Korean drama and all of a sudden I'm on Grubhub and I'm like, man, I'm glad that Korean place delivers. And then I'm eating kimchi jjigae. I don't know why. I'm like eating kimchi jjigae and steamed egg, and I don't know why. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, there are some things you need to learn. And while maybe I'll do another video, I'm not the authority on Korean dramas by any means, but maybe I'll do another video from my experience, the things that you should learn before you dive straight head into it. But for now, I'm going to give you a guideline for Netflix. Maybe I'll do it with other streaming platforms if you guys want me to. But for now, we're going to stick to Netflix and we're going to give you some Korean dramas that will help ease you into it. The first one I give you is Itaewon Class. Itaewon Class. I have made several videos about Itaewon Class. I have made a video about the couple that I ship in Itaewon Class. I have made a tipsy movie review about Itaewon Class. It is a great show. It stars the beauty, the crown jewel. He's not the crown jewel. There are many crown jewels of Korea. He's not the nation's anything.
거 이제 하지 말라고.
Park Sejun. Park Sejun is a phenomenal actor. Most popular in lots of different stuff. He was in She Was Pretty. He was in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. He was in Fight For Me. He was in Fight For Me. He was in Harang with B of BTS and Choi Min-ho of SHINee, aka My Baby Daddy. He was in a lot of stuff. He is a phenomenal actor constantly. He is actually one of my favorite actors, period, outside of the K-drama genre.
머릿속이 내 마음이 너로 가득해.
anything, I think he's one of the most phenomenal actors today. He was also in Parasite. Ha ha ha. So he's in an Academy Award-winning film. He's in an Academy Award-winning film. So it is a story of this business mogul and how he became who he was. He essentially comes from nothing. His dad is murdered. He goes to jail, works on a fishing boat, all these different things. I will link DKTV's video talking about 81 Class down below. It is a phenomenal film. It is a film show. It has just the most colorful cast of people. It tackles social issues that a lot of Korean dramas don't or didn't, especially when I was growing up. They talk about being transgender. They talk about a bunch of different things that a lot of Korean dramas just kind of gloss over sometimes because it's not as pretty, and it's kind of down in the nitty gritty. And I would say it's the closest thing to like an American drama that on Netflix you may get. Like maybe like some of their more supernatural stuff like Black has like that American feel to it, but this is like for a strictly Korean drama that feels 100% like a Korean drama. It is the closest to like, oh, I would see this on I was gonna say Lifetime, not Lifetime. You're better than that, boo. You're better than that. I would see this on like Fox or like there's a channel that I'm thinking of, USA, something like that. You know, it's very deep, it's very beautiful, it's very rich, and still very, very Korean, which gives you an appreciation but is more also palatable to people who haven't been 100% balls deep into Korean dramas. So, with that being said, we go to our next one. Our next one, much like Itaewon Class, is made by Netflix, which I think already gives it kind of an edge up. Not an edge up on other dramas, but an edge up on being dramas that are more relatable to people who are not Korean, or specifically people who are American. It's Abyss. Abyss is basically, first of all, look at this man. You'll be damned if he can't bear my children. He's beautiful. He's beautiful. He's actually a Canadian. I believe he's Canadian. Dang, I think he's Canadian. Canadian Korean. So he is just, there's this scene where he's speaking English.
Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I made a call to the marketing manager in China. Yes, you can finalize the rest.
And I'm just like, anyways. Basically what happens is that he ends up becoming this version of himself, this beautiful man you see before him, because he died on accident due to the Grim Reapers of the world, and they rehabilitate his soul and give him the ability to rehabilitate other souls, and you will come back looking as your soul. The only thing I have a problem with in this drama is that this drama stars one of the most iconic people of South Korea. If you don't know her, I mean, I guess that's, you don't know her, you're probably watching this video. She's from Strong Girl, Do Bong-soon. She is by far one of the most beautiful women. Like, I think her, Go Ara, and there's another girl that I will mention later in this list because she is a show herself, that are just the most stunning looking women I've ever seen.
아, 나 배고파. 밥 먹으러 가자. 어? 가요. 아, 맞다. 우리 아까 뭐 나한테 말하려고 했었던 거.
And I don't believe that they are like, she's average looking. No, I'm average looking. She's stunning. But, you know, I guess by the standards of this show, she is average looking. And that's what basically happens. I explained nothing. I just realized I explained nothing. Basically, he has the ability to rehabilitate souls. One of the women, a woman that he's been in love with his entire life, was murdered. So he rehabilitates her soul, and it comes out looking like this, which we are meant to believe is average, but is low-key stunning. Low-key, high-key stunning. Anyways, and throughout this, they're trying to figure out who murdered her, what's going on. There's a serial killer who kind of has amnesia. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy but super phenomenal, super fun. I almost didn't watch it because I started at the beginning and I was like, I'm not a big fan of like shows where like people transform. I don't know why. I really hate them. I really hate them, but like this, for some reason, this and like 200 Pound Beauty are like two of my favorite things. But like I genuinely really hate, like there's the thing about the cat. I really hate them, but I somehow fell in love, and I really recommend this. And it's basically a murder mystery, but way more interesting, way more cool, and really fun. And I think that you should try and watch it. And I think it's also very palatable. And it's made by Netflix, so like, you know, there was definitely a white man in the room somewhere.
한다 그랬는데 못 참겠어. 나 그냥 여기서 잘래.
Our next one is The Lover and His Liar. This one, it stars Joy from Red Velvet. Yeah, I know, right? She's our favorite. So Joy, if you don't know Joy from Red Velvet, she is Joy, and she's a part of a group, a K-pop idol group called Red Velvet. There you go. She's a phenomenal singer.
기가 막히고 코가 막히는 재능을 갖고 있길래 그렇게 노래 타령을 하는지 한번 드러나 보자고, 어? 한번 드러나 보자고, 어? 야, 우리 노래 한번 들어볼까? 어? 해봐 어디? 응? 아이고 이런 노래 같은 소리하고 자빠졌네. 아이고.
내 모습이 보이지 않아. 앞길도 보이지 않아. 나는 아주 작은 애벌레. 날아 날개를 활짝 펴고 세상을 자유롭게 날 거야. 노래하며 춤추는 나는 아름다운 나비.
And she plays this cute character, this adorable sweetheart. Oh, so misguided by Honeybee. Oh, she reminds me of Honeybee. That's who she reminds me of, actually. Honeybee, if you've seen Matilda, Miss Honeybee, but like young. A very young Miss Honeybee. She's a high school student, and she wants to be a singer with her band. Has a cute little mushroom cut. You know, every cute girl got bangs in this joint, in this universe. That's another trope.
Lift your head up. I'm tired of seeing your bangs.
So she basically wants to be a musician, but then she runs into this guy who is secretly a musician, but she doesn't know that. And she falls in love with him, and she kind of makes it her mission to do these two things, to become popular with her band and make this man fall in love with her. He's kind of a liar. He's like a huge liar. He's not kind of a liar. He's a huge liar. He lies to everyone constantly, and he lies to her that he's like in love with her, that he like, because he's trying to like get the song back. It's like a whole convoluted like twin theory, but in the midst of it, he also ends up falling in love with her, obviously. A little inappropriate, but we shadow over it. Yeah, we shadow over it. But in the end, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end. You need to watch it. It's a really good show. Lots of great music. One of my favorite songs to ever be, like, I love fake music, like, you know, like Lemonade Mouth and how they have like Break Free and all those, Living on a High Wire and stuff, like, and like fake, I like fake band music. So like this fake band was called Crude Play, and they had a song called Peter Pan, and I bop so hard to that in the shower still, like to this day. I'm just Peter Pan. Prologue. Anyways, love the music, so highly check it out. Highly recommend it. The main lead, he's super adorable. I think he just went off, I was gonna say off to war. No, I think he just did his military enlistment, but he's super adorable. I believe he's also in like Moonrim Academy. The next show we have is Chicago Typewriter. This show, oh, I saw this show on my Netflix. Netflix was trying to recommend the show to me so hard. Like, when I tell you so hard, like every time I logged in, it was the first thing I would see. And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this bullshit. I'm trying to watch some cute lovey-dovey shit. Get this out of my face. It was cute as shit. This show was cute as shit. Cause I was like, I thought it all took place in like the 20s, and I was like, I ain't trying to watch that shit. Like, I usually, when I'm watching Korean dramas, I usually want it to be like modern as fuck, or I want it to be like in the Joseon Dynasty, like back in the day where they were having kings and all that stuff. So I usually don't like the in-between when they're fighting Japan. Like it's usually like those are the three places. It's either like modern, when they were fighting the Japanese, or back in the Joseon Dynasty. It's usually those three time periods. So I was like, I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see it. I don't care about that time period. Man, was I wrong. It was so good. It takes place in the modern day era. It's about this writer who is basically reliving his past life with this woman who comes in, and his best friend who comes in, and it's like this deep and intense tale. I rewatch it all the time. It's really good. There's no way to properly describe it other than just saying watch it. Watch it. Everyone is really interesting. Everyone is really unexpected, and that's really great because like you don't usually get that. So I highly recommend it. Next we have Romance is a Bonus Book. This one, another one of my future baby daddies. He's not really my future baby daddy, but he is known to me as the kissing king. Cause every time I see him kiss a girl, I'm like, ooh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. You had some gall on you when you did that one.
The nerve, the audacity, the gumption, the gall.
I praise you. I highly praise you. But it's the story of this woman who has a daughter that you never see. So I'm gonna let you know right now, because I was pissed when I got to the end of it and I never saw her daughter. You never see the girl. So just bleh. Basically, she's homeless. She's divorced. She has a best friend who's kind of in love with her. She doesn't realize he's in love with her. He's much younger. Go ahead, cougar thing. And she's trying to get a job after her divorce. After her husband has left her and cheated on her and been a general douchebag, she's trying to rebuild her life and still take care of her daughter. And it's a beautiful story that revolves around books, their publishers. It has the perfect amount of comedy and drama to it. It has a great balance. Again, King of the Kissing, oof, is in it. And you know, love him. Love me some him. I watched Two Worlds for him, and I hated that show, so that tells you something. And the last show we have is It's Okay Not to Be Okay. This show, when I tell you, I was already here for it before it even came out, because I saw the commercial and I saw sis was dressed like IU and Hotel Deluda, and I was like, we love a bad bitch who can dress, you know? Just, we appreciate it. We highly praise it. We love it. We stand it, honestly. It's phenomenal. But, man, I couldn't. Because I wasn't prepared for how great she was dressed. But outside of that, then I was like, all right, you got me. I don't even know what this... The one thing I would say about this thing is the trailers do not do it justice. At freaking all. Because I was watching the trailers and I was like, butterflies, what are you talking about? Like, I'm gonna watch it because, like, I like how she's dressed and I love her as a character because she was killing it in Muvrim School. She was a great character in that, and I love her as an actress. But, like, damn, I was like, y'all making me not want to watch it with this trailer. I'm so glad I watched it. It's so good. It's basically about this caretaker who has an autistic brother, relate to it, and how he's trying to take care of his brother. They always move because of some deep mystery that has to do with his parents, and that there's this author who is his brother's favorite author, who also happens to be his love from childhood. Another thing that you should know about Korean dramas, there's always a love from childhood, and they're usually the main characters. But anyways, so she kind of has an antisocial disorder. His brother's autistic, so a lot of it takes place in not a psychiatric hospital, I guess you would say, or a hospice. And yeah, it's basically them trying to figure out like what's wrong with you as audience member are trying to figure out what's wrong with her.
네가 막 이렇게 난 확실히 욕구불만 맞아.
조용히 안 해.
나랑 한번 잘래? 왜?
Like if she's actually crazy or if like there's some other shit going on, but then you're also trying to see this love story of like
스스로 통제가 안 될 땐 새까지만 세.
하나, 둘, 셋.
how she's always calling him her safety pin, like about him like trying to like rein her in, but also like kind of let go of his brother a little bit, but also like solve the mystery of his dead parents. It's a lot, but it's so good. It's so good. So good. The casting is so good. They're both beautiful and talented actors, which is really hard to do because a lot of the times it's not both, and that sucks. Sometimes you just see beautiful people, sometimes you just see talented actors. If you're lucky, you get Park Seo-joon and you get both. But both of these actors are phenomenal. I loved her, again, saying it again, loved her in Murim. And that's kind of what really dragged me in, because like it was the IU outfits from Hotel de Luna, and the fact that I know she's a phenomenal actress from both Murim and she was in Save Me, the one about the killer cult. That's another one you should watch, but I am going to do a tipsy review on that one, so don't worry. I'm Yummy.com. Thank you for watching. I highly recommend all of these, so don't worry, I will be back and stay tuned.